Hi, welcome into the Across the Table studios here on the SIBN as we look back at the Week 4 matchup against the Centerville Elks. And this coming week, Week 5 against the John Adams Rebels, we look at Wildcat Varsity football alongside Greg Zeiton. I'm John Fanta. And Greg, the Wildcats coming off a 27-day win on Saturday night. They really played well against that Centerville team, which they had a miserable night last year, but did a really nice job on that Saturday night.
You've got to be really impressed with the defense last week. That defensive line shut down the run. We know Centerville last year, as you started to mention, ran all over the Wildcats, but this year, very different story. Defensive line was great against the run, and also, when Centerville did pass, the defensive line was in the backfield immediately. 11 sacks for the team was very impressive. You had basically that whole defensive front stepped up tremendously.
We had a couple calls that said manhandled by the whole defensive line, and that's what it was. It seemed like every time that Centerville was trying to make a big play, run the ball, the Wildcats sniffed it out right from the beginning.
Yeah, the Wildcats really forced Centerville out of their game plan early by stopping the run. Centerville passed more in that game than they had in any game before that, and we saw, they're not the best passing team. And it's hard to be when you've got so many defenders from the other team in your backfield harassing your quarterback.
And you've got two quarterbacks. It seemed like that they had a quarterback controversy going on with Jimmy Brooks and Jansen Matthews. It was interesting to note that offense really did not get into sync. Looking at our offense now, Eric Williams, a very nice game, was able to target Mooney a lot, and they did a nice job. Centerville's goal was to stop Tim McVeigh. Well, they needed to stop Eric Williams as well, and they could not.
Yeah, it seemed like Centerville focused so much on the run that they left a lot of opportunities in the passing game open. Eric Williams, very good game, took advantage of those. Didn't try to force any plays. He really took what the defense gave him. Hit Blake Thomas a few times, hit Jake Mooney, especially on that long touchdown pass. That was a short pass, and Mooney did most of the work. So they really did a good job of taking what Centerville left for them.
And I think it's interesting to note that going into Week 5, he's really progressed. Williams has learned this offense and done a very nice job at times and has really looked to progress each week long. It seems like he's getting better and making better plays every week.
Yeah, and last week, starting with that Menor game, we saw 2 consecutive very good games from Eric Williams. Hopefully that'll continue. And like you said, he's been improving. And a lot of that's probably just this is his first year playing here. It's a new offense, and looks like he's finally starting to completely understand all of it.
The Wildcats in Week 5 will be without Tim McVeigh. They've just decided to not play McVeigh, rest him to get ready for that Week 6 matchup, a big matchup against Glenville. And they are also going to sit out James Sheehan, not full strength yet. They just want to rest these guys in precaution, which is a smart move going into Week 5.
Yeah, you really, Week 5 against John Adams. We don't want to demean John Adams, but that's a game the Wildcats know they should win. They're expecting for some of the key reserves to play, in the second half, maybe even late in the first half. And, just being cautious. They don't want to risk injuries to key players.
John Adams, a Senate team, the Wildcats facing 2 Senate teams this year with Adams, and the following week with Glenville, and that's really what this is. A game to, as Chuck Kyle said, pick yourselves up, improve on your game. Think of something that you can improve on. It's going to be interesting to see what these guys try to improve on this week, whether it's the run game a little bit more with that offensive line, which has done a very nice job in the past couple of weeks, or for Williams really to get some more plays. Maybe open up that offensive package more to get in there for the second half of the season. They haven't completely opened it up. There's a lot of plays that they still have had in there in the preseason. It's going to be interesting to know what they do on Saturday night against John Adams. Kickoff at 7 o'clock here at Byers Field. A team that comes in here and, they're not going to be very confident here. It's exciting for them to play the Wildcats. So we'll see how the Wildcats progress on Saturday night.
Well, like you started to say, it's a game for the Wildcats to really work out some of the tweaks, getting ready for the Glenville game, and then, of course, looking a little bit farther ahead, weeks 9 and 10, really your toughest 2 games of the year. But see what works, perfect some of the little things, and just improve in every way you can.
Absolutely. We will look at that next week on Across the Table. We We'll look at the Wildcats through midseason. We'll kind of give a midseason report card, get the grade books out. But thank you for watching Across the Table. Saturday night, 6:45, starting with the Murphy Bergen pregame show at Byers Field, and 7 o'clock kickoff with Greg and I against the Vegas Gold and Maroon in the John Adams Rebels. Saturday night. Thanks for watching, everybody.